If you turn away your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my holy day. Notice he doesn't say it's your holy day. The Lord is very possessive when it comes to the Shabbat. This is his holy day, and he is specifically marking this day out where you do not bring your, in the Hebrew, chefetz. You don't bring your chefetz, you don't bring your own desires, the desires of your own heart, meaning your own agenda. Shabbat is explicitly the day for you to incorporate the Lord's agenda, the Lord's desires. Now, this is one thing we've got to get. Through all of us, we tend to have thick heads. We've got to understand the fact that it is all about him. It's not about us. This day is all for him. What does that look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like this. A lot like this. It looks like engaging in the power of praise and worship to the Most High. It looks like engaging in prayer. It looks like engaging in the ministry of the Word. It looks like you taking a step back from the rest of the week and allowing yourself to rest physically. It looks like you spending time with your family, specifically in the context of spirituality. And the Lord, putting the Lord on a pedestal, focusing on him and honoring him. I mean, that's what this day is all about. It's not about bringing our own desires into this, and that is hard. God is not willing to share you on this day. That is an amazing thought. He is not willing to share you with the world. This is a sacred meeting where God has called you to meet with him, and he doesn't want you coming divided. With a divided heart, a divided mind, where, well, I'm giving part of my mind to you, Lord, but I'm still thinking about all those things that I got to do, in the coming week, and I'm still thinking about some of the things that happened in this past week and all these things that I want to do. That is a divided heart and a divided mind. The Lord wants your undivided attention on this day. And he wants an undivided heart. He wants all of your heart. He doesn't want 90%. He doesn't want 99%. When it comes to the Shabbat, he wants everything from us. But with that said, we're going to continue. So let's reread this. If you turn your foot away from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, look at this, and call the Sabbath an oneg. You call it a delight. This is what we call our fellowship time. We call it oneg. It means delight. Let this sink down deep. Because the Lord is saying we are instructed to call this day a delight, a joy, a blessing. But he says that specifically in the context of you not bringing your desires into this day. The fact that the Lord has spoken this tells you he is looking at your heart. This is not looking at your physical appearance. You've done your job and checked the box and you're good. That's what's so scary about the Lord. You don't get to check boxes. He's going to your heart, and he knows whether you're here for the right reasons, or whether you truly are delighting in this day that he's totally carved and set aside specifically to come and meet with you. He goes on. You're to call the Sabbath a delight, the holy day of the Lord. And look at this. In the Hebrew, it's mechubad, or the simple uninflected would be kavod. Look at the descriptions. Look at how this is translated. Honorable, glorious, and rich. Actually, the first time the word is found in Scripture, the law of first mention, is Genesis 13, and it's translated as rich. I mean, the Shabbat is a great wealth of the kingdom. This is the riches of the kingdom. When you start to understand the concept of holiness and the fact that Shabbat is holy, that is weighty. That is a very heavy matter. It's intense. And then he says this, and shall honor him. How? Not doing your own ways, nor finding your own chefetz, your own pleasure, your own desires. This is how you honor. Isn't it amazing to me? This blows my mind. God's understanding, his definition of how you honor him is explicitly expressed in your observance to the Shabbat. I mean, specifically, and last time I checked, our job as believers is to honor the Lord. That is the very definition of being a disciple of Yeshua, is that now I become a living sacrifice. I devote myself to honoring him. It really blows my mind that something this serious, that God takes so seriously, because everywhere I go in Scripture and I look at how the Lord talks about this day, using the most intense language available, how is it something so significant and so important has become so meaningless? That blows my mind. But the Lord's not done. He adds one more thing to this of not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure. And then he says, nor speaking your own words. In other words, this is not a day to talk about the mundane things of the world. It's not a day for you to reminisce about your favorite sports teams. It's not even a day for you to start talking about some of the things that happen at work or the projects you got going on at work. It's not the day for that. We should be embracing the reality of what God has for us on the Shabbat, the holiness. We should be talking about eternal things, not temporary. This concept is going to give you true clarity. This concept is going to give you true motivation so that you can actually do what God is asking you to do, to come in to the Shabbat in a way where you excommunicate everything that your heart has turned to in the world. You excommunicate it. The Shabbat is a direct, a personal invitation from God to you to come and meet with him. I want that to sink down. We have been invited to come into the presence of the King. That is the concept of the Shabbat. And when you understand that, I kid you not, it will change your life. I don't know about you, but when you understand the magnitude of coming into the presence of the King, I'm not going to come kicking and screaming. I'm not going to be kicking up dust and wishing I was somewhere else. I'm not going to become complacent. I'm not going to be reluctant. This is not going to be a drag for me. To come into the presence of the King is not going to be boring. I am not going to check a box. I'm going to run to the Shabbat. I'm going to desire the Shabbat. And do you know why I want to desire the Shabbat? Why it means more than anything? Because I desire him.
Hey there, this is Mike at Corner Fringe Ministries, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch our video. We hope that it blessed you and it encouraged you. And if it did, please hit the thumbs up on the video and share it with your friends and family. It's also, if you haven't already considered, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, if you'd like to watch the entire video, click on this link. And if you'd like to watch the entire series and learn more about what we do and believe here at Corner Fringe Ministries, click on this link. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and we hope to see you again soon. Shalom.